First Nations chiefs are confronting the head of the troubled inquiry into murdered and missing Indigenous women, demanding that she resign and that the commission extend the time allotted for its work. Speaking ahead of a 4815 vote pushing for Marion Buller's replacement, Sheila North Wilson, the Grand Chief of Manitoba Kiiwetinoong Okimakanik, said it was time for a new commissioner. "You are probably a brilliant human being, but I tell you, you are not a brilliant commissioner for this inquiry, Ms. North Wilson said at a special gathering during an annual meeting of the Assembly of First Nations. The call for Ms. Buller's resignation comes after months of complaints about delays and poor communications on the part of the inquiry and after some family members of women who have been murdered told Ms. Buller, who attended the AFN meeting on Thursday morning, that the inquiry treated them callously. Story continues below advertisement. One woman from Attawapiskat in northern Ontario whose daughter was slain, and who said she appeared before the inquiry in September, broke down in tears before the chiefs and accused the commissioners of having been disrespectful to the dead and of leaving those who testify without adequate support. It will be up to the federal government to decide on whether Ms. Buller should go and whether an extension will be granted. Carolyn Bennett, the Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, has given no indication she will replace the commission chair, but her office said Thursday she will consider giving the commissioners more time if requested to do so. The AFN resolution was moved by Judy Wilson, the chief of the Neskonlith Indian Band and a member of the Union of British Columbia Indian Chiefs. It calls for the families of victims from across Canada to come together to decide how the inquiry should go forward. The families need more direct and full engagement and involvement, which hasn't been happening with this national inquiry, Ms. Wilson said the inquiry needs a reset. Ms. Buller must step aside because she is the chief commissioner responsible for how this is all unfolding, and there have been a lot of requests before, during and after the commission started hearings that she hasn't been responsive to, she said. In British Columbia, the province with the highest number of missing Indigenous women in Canada, repeated letters have been sent to the inquiry to ask for hearings in Vancouver, but there has been no response, Ms. Wilson said. In addition, she said, when the chiefs of the AFN voted at a meeting in July to support the continuation of the inquiry under Ms. Buller, they drafted a list of changes that would have to be made, but those items have not been addressed. Story continues below advertisement. Story continues below advertisement. Ms. Wilson's resolution came after Ms. North Wilson, no relation, took the microphone at the meeting to demand that Ms. Buller step down. Ms. North Wilson said she is distraught that many of the families who have testified before the inquiry to this point have done so before television cameras. "I don't like seeing women crying on the news every day,"